Hello everybody, welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and this is going to be a Divine Masculine channel message. I will pull some cards after I go through the energies that I come into. So I feel a lot of the Divine Masculines are in this gateway of enduring all kinds of challenges. I kept getting shown 5, so 555, a lot of changes, a lot of struggles, a lot of power struggles, and I kind of feel the masculine is kind of power tripping at this time. And I feel the only thing that really endures is change. So I feel a lot of changes, and I think the masculines are adapting to all of these heavy energies. I think they're losing continuity in their life, and they're having a very hard time maintaining balance at this time. So they're being met with all kinds of restraints. And this really is because they've tried to control everything, and they're not going to be able to control the enhancement of these energies coming through. So a lot of potential for transformation at this point in time that will benefit the collective. And a lot of frustration is coming up, particularly when it comes to this position of strength that they've been holding on to with their ego. And a lot of them are going into this social withdrawal energy when it comes to this persistency of trying to control everything that is kind of crumbling. So they're not going to be able to control these energies. There's a lot of Jupiter expansion coming through with the channels of energies that are being activated, and this constant evaluation that the masculine's been in when it comes to trusting their instincts versus staying in this false imprisoned contract is coming up. And the masculine cannot be controlled when he keeps playing into all of these underlying fears. There's a big fear of failure coming up. And the masculine's about to put the brakes on that karmic situation because he can't keep running away from the truth of this divine connection, of this love. And they've maintained control up until now. I also feel a lot of them are struggling with their liver and their spleen because a lot of them are playing into a lot of alcoholism to mask the pain. And this is going to create a great deal of stress in the masculine's life. They're clinging to this material foundation that really doesn't hold any values anymore in their life when it comes to this heart energy. And their whole world is about to get flipped upside down. One of the greatest gifts that the masculine is going to recognize, I think, is their skill to keep going forward through all of these challenges. And that's one of the tests that we face, is our spiritual strength. So they've definitely used their influences in a negative way. And this prolonged state of indecision is creating a lot of agonizing energies. And there is a need for the masculine to balance the head and the heart. They've really played into this conservatism energy of not wanting to fully open themselves up intimately with the divine feminine. They're afraid to take this risk, this unknown risk, this fear of failure. And this transformation and change basically is inevitable at this point in time. And this really is a big part of the equation right now in the masculine's life when it comes to this optimized energy for growth and expansion. So they cannot keep relying on that ego authority for the correct time to take action. They've been staying close within those restrictive boundaries, not following their own instincts, not listening to the higher wisdom, and all of this chaos and conflict is emerging to keep them from repeating this cycle that just is no longer working where they are at. So this consistent source of lack is going to fuel the drive for the masculine to embrace this growth process, because the Grail experience with the divine feminine is truly where all of these unlimited resources will come from. So a lot of developmental energies when it comes to the masculine reaching his fullest potential, his highest potential, and completing this karmic cycle through the heart of growth. So all of these limitations are creating this moment of self-actualization. And if the masculine is to be exalted from fulfilling this karmic contract, they're going to have to step into their purpose, their natural path, and that's where the rewards will come. A lot of these masculines do not have a healthy sense of self, and therefore they cling to power and control, and it's really stunted their growth when it comes to self-fulfilling this divine prophecy. So a lot of negative influences are bringing forward all kinds of strict outer experiences, demanding the masculine come out of that reclusive energy, to embrace this inner growth and to step into high moral values and self-empowerment. So a lot of maturation energy, a lot of development is coming through from the root center, and the masculine is finding his tenacity to break free from this cycle, because it's not in order with divine instructions. And this inherent breakdown of this abstract cycle is really the process where the masculine generates all of this growth and finds that equilibrium, that balance from all of his collected experiences, from all of the past life timelines and this life, if he is to create that solid foundation for future successes from the heart center. So we enter into all of these cycles unconsciously, and we have to learn these lessons from the past once and for all this lifetime. The masculine, I think, is coming to terms with the fact that this karmic cycle truly has run its course, and he is determining what is needed to bring it to a final conclusion, is what I'm feeling. Before he can begin this new cycle with the divine feminine, this former karmic cycle must be brought to a complete and natural organic ending. And whatever has been left unfinished or incomplete, the masculine is going to have to revisit it in the new cycle if he doesn't close the book on the past once and for all. So this is, you know, major relationship cycles that we're releasing where we have felt stuck or held back or imprisoned by these unresolved patterns of negative behavior that do date back as far as the divine masculine's childhood. And I feel there's a lot of focus on what it's going to take energetically to complete this cycle and process. A lot of the masculines are feeling very weak. They're not being sufficiently supported by anybody when it comes to this new beginning, which is making them very nervous, very uncomfortable. And if they are to commit to correcting all of these difficulties, they're going to have to extract themselves once and for all from what they have committed to that is no longer working, such as this unfortunate marriage or unfortunate union with the karmic soul contract. Not all of these masculines are married, but you cannot keep waiting for things to get comfortable in a karmic commitment when the energy is just separating, and the maximization of these cosmic energies are creating this deep sense of lack. And the masculine is really needing to find his power to complete this process. As frustrating as it is to start something new, we can never ever really get this new cycle in love started if the masculine is not willing to cut these ties with these karmic contracts. So the masculine is learning to nurture himself, I think, to mother himself. He's being asked to share this process of growth with the divine feminine. He's dealing with a very malefic entity that is, you know, clinging to materialism, creating all kinds of restrictions, trying to alienate the masculine, which is encouraging all kinds of karmic aggression. And this refusal for the masculine to grow up is bringing massive transition and changes. It's this restructuring of foundations happening below the surface. And the energy is getting quite intense when it comes to this new cycle and letting everything fall away that needs to fall away in order for this next cycle to begin. So a lot of the masculines are receiving clarity that they've been waiting for when it comes to the accumulation of all of this chaos and conflict. And it is the dissolution of these old contracts and forms, and the masculine is losing all kinds of stability, I feel. They've retained their position up until now, and the pressure is on to begin this new cycle, to start from scratch, and to not base this new foundation on these old principles. So A lot of the divine masculine's development along the spiritual journey has been hampered by criticism, belittling, by the karmic contract. And so a lot of these masculines tend to withdraw rather than make use of these experiences, and they play into the difficulties by feeding any addictions to mask the pain. And they do see a brand new start here with the divine feminine, but it is because of all of the karmic criticism that they feel that they cannot release this old cycle. So, and that usually is a direct reflection to a mother wound or a father wound from childhood. And if we are to reach this balanced state of development for this new cyclical process to begin, where we, are mature adults and we have this sequence of development in place. So we're at this conception point of completion is what I feel. And this karmic energy format is no longer going to apply to any life forms or any new relationships that are going to begin with this new energy. So the masculine is being given the fuel needed to start this new cycle, but they're going to have to course correct when it comes to this negative commitment. They're going through a deep period of initiation, and their time has definitely come to flower out of this negativity. The energy is ripe to seed the future right now, and the masculine's been assigned that role. And he's going to have to come forward in this new cycle. He's going to have to keep moving forward. He cannot avoid this relationship with the divine feminine. He's not equipped to stay where he's at. It will absolutely finish him and bring him to rock bottom if he is unable to release this contract. It's kind of time to finish what we started. And the second the twins come into that first meeting, the awakening journey has already begun. There's no going backwards. So I feel a lot of them are being met with a lot of resistance. They're being stopped right in their tracks. They're being met with all kinds of disappointment when it comes to this cycle of depression and committing to the wrong person and wanting to start something new. And it's like they're being compelled by all of these cosmic pressures to take action, and it's creating all kinds of frustration, and the energy is gaining momentum is what I'm feeling, like the quickening. And they're gonna need protection. They're definitely gonna need some protection, especially when it comes to these past soul contracts. And they're gonna have to release this imprudent action, this haste, if they are to come forward for this new beginning. A lot of impatient energies. I think a lot of the karmics purposely hold the masculine back, whether they are consciously aware of you or not. They know the masculine is going towards somebody new. And there's this unconscious provoking of all of this conflict in the masculine's life from the karmic entity that is threatening his security. It's provoking all of these threatening energies because the karmic wants assurance that she's not going to lose her stability. A lot of these karmics are financially dependent on the masculine, and they're very persistent, creating all kinds of difficulties. They're going to ensure that the masculine is completely and totally embarrassed when it comes to this situation. They're creating all kinds of irrational emotional reactions in the energies, proving to be detrimental when it comes to this pressure. A lot of awkward, embarrassing exposure when it comes to this new beginning, which is creating all kinds of confusion. And the masculine is needing to assert himself when it comes to these underlying psychic recognitions that have been coming forward. When it comes to these values, I think a lot of the masculines have been in a period of isolation for quite some time, and they're really needing to garner their inner strength to face this opposition and to embrace this new beginning, regardless of any karmic situations or circumstances that they are up against. So I think they're going to become very over assertive here right shortly. I think they're going to face this opposition with a very aggressive attitude because they are done with this forceful energy. And I feel this is all phasing out as we come into the completion of the union stage. And a lot of the feminines are coming into this evident excess, which is really creating all kinds of impatience with the masculine. and from these past contracts. So I feel they've been hiding their envy towards the feminine success. They fear that the feminine will keep moving on without them, and this is creating all kinds of excessive demands on the masculine's ego to originate this process and to end that karmic contract once and for all. I think they fear losing the divine feminine. They've been hiding behind a mask, and they're trying to find that drive to rise up. I was shown this energy of the marrying maiden. So I do feel there's been this higher interaction of this union in the mystical cosmic realms when it comes to this spiritual relationship, when it comes to mastering our intuitive gifts. And the energy is quite penetrating. So all of these influences that misguided the masculine and insisted on the masculine going towards the karmic relationship are diminishing in their power right now, I feel. And this limiting influence is energizing the masculine through this secret relationship with the divine feminine, where he's never ever released you on the heart. You've always been secretly stuffed in the heart chakra. So the masculine's really going to need to use his discernment coming up here. There's a lot of wisdom being gained. The masculine knows he cannot keep restraining, recognizing the divine feminine. He's played into all kinds of temptations. He's taken advantage of a lot of people. And I think everything's coming into formality at this time. They've lacked loyalty. And all of this disloyalty around them is kind of like in their face, loud and clear, is what I feel. And this really is the gateway of transformation for humanity, to call in that true tribe for that true material direction. When we stand among our soul family, the energy gets supplied with all of these higher spiritual aspirations when it comes to all of these hidden truths. And only when the masculine masters this lesson can he break free from the mundane routine of this very unfulfilling karmic contract. There's a lot of personal potential coming through when it comes to the masculine stepping into the higher hierarchy of this mission, and stepping into that position of that true benevolent leader, releasing all of these malefic energies that he's been connected with. It's kind of time to come forward on equal terms with the divine feminine. And I think he's going to be naturally looking to the feminine for that direction coming up here. He wants lasting value. He wants to leave something of lasting value behind this lifetime. And without the direction of the divine feminine, I feel, I don't know where he's going to go. I feel he's been blindly led into the dark with the karmic energy. And this relationship with the divine feminine is really where all of this wealth lies. So a lot of these masculines have been very covert in their interactions. I'm not going to full on say covert narcissist, but they've been very covert with their interactions. They've been very secretive with their channels of communication, only releasing what they absolutely have to. Which has created all kinds of frustrations and obstacles that they've kind of attracted into their life, all kinds of blocks when it comes to this magnanimity that the masculine has been playing into. So it is this self-actualization point where the masculine taps into his spiritual position of power, stepping into genuine, fruitful relationships where people will not take advantage of others. And a lot of the masculines have been taking advantage of when it comes to these karmic demands. And the energy really is fruitful for us to reach that 0 point of polarity in the energy. So let's jump in with a few cards and see what else needs to come through for the divine masculine. Sadness and loss, grieving the ending, and I also feel a lot of ancestral communication. A lot of the masculines have loved ones crossed over, and I think he's been really trying hard to make plans to break free from this very addictive, unhealthy pattern with the karmic contract. And you, without a doubt, have left those footprints on the masculine's heart. He's not able to eradicate you from his heart or his head. He cannot stop thinking about you, and I think there's fear around his finances at this time. And this ending really is to get the masculine back on track. I do feel he's losing patience. He has been secretly making plans to come towards you, and then he keeps getting pulled back into this very addictive, unhealthy relationship. So I do feel many of the masculines are paying attention to the details, and I do feel they're praying that you will show them some compassion when they get out of the other side of this ending. They deeply regret rejecting you. There's a lot of regrets there, and I feel a lot of them have been spiraling out of control, and they're going to need to regain control. I feel a lot of them are moving. You might even receive a message from your masculine that he's walked away, he's moving, but I think he fears reaching out because I think he fears you've locked the door in the past once and for all. A lot of the feminines have completely cut off their energy and have completely disconnected energetically from this connection. And there's a fear that maybe you've disconnected altogether. And they're reliving the past over and over again when it comes to walking away from you, when it comes to rejecting you, and there is a lot of regret. Definitely facing all kinds of adversities and challenges within this arranged contract. Out of obligation, I feel all of these challenging circumstances are creating roadblocks. People and places are testing them when it comes to this energy, and they're being called to share this knowledge. Within the collective. So their abundance does lie within this connection with the feminine. They've been very stingy when it comes to their energy, and they are being asked to step into devotion and faith within this mission, within this service mission, to honor the vows that the twins took. And he is definitely going through a death energy, saying goodbye to all of these contracts. I think he does see a lot of the feminine, like a lot of the masculines see the feminine stepping into social recognition within society. A lot of the feminines are, stepping into fame and fortune and wealth. And this is creating all kinds of resentment, for the wrongdoing that they did. So I think they know they're going to have to tirelessly work at cultivating the trust and this foundation again. And we are here to reach the masses with our wisdom. So I think the masculine's wondering if you're still single. I think, as much as he enjoyed the casual relationship that you shared before separation, it was very unconventional. It wasn't work. We are here to step into committed partnerships, these higher unions. And I feel the masculine is angry. He's angry because of all of the negative situations he's dealing with, and he's definitely exerted himself physically for little reward within that karmic contract, and it is because of the secrets on the heart. He secretly wishes he never abandoned you, and he's definitely been protecting his heart when it comes to holding this secret love on the inside, and I do feel these unhealthy habits have gone on long enough. He's really going to need to start honoring his physical vessel, and he definitely needs to protect his energy from the karmic contract at this time. I feel like it's time. The Seven of Pentacles, it's really time for the masculine to pack up and leave home. There's no loyalty there. He knows it's time to come forward and apologize for all of the mental confusion, all of the manipulation. He's really trapped up in his head when it comes to this foundation with you. He's really got to break free from these negative cycles, this old mindset. He's definitely trapped in a bubble, a prison of his own making. And there's that tower I was just about to say, and his bubble's about to get burst, and it is. So, he's being asked to release the chaos, the conflict, the drama. He's definitely at the divine why. Needing to make that choice, and if he doesn't, then that tower is going to come in, and there's going to be all kinds of challenges because that foundation was false. And there is a heart chakra activation, I feel, a lot of Kundalini activations, and there's definitely going to be a complete breakdown of that false foundation. for this brand new beginning in love. So I think he's receiving some bad news of some sort. I do feel he's deeply regretting not committing to you in the past. He's deep within the depths of this heart pain and consciously releasing this burden because he can't stop getting out of his head. He's living a waking nightmare when it comes to this missed opportunity with the divine feminine. And I do feel he knows he has to come in with honest, open-hearted communication because a lot of the feminines have a lot of doorways opening, a lot of options coming up. And, you know, he can't keep holding on to this karmic contract. It's time to walk away and to embrace this healing journey and to bring justice to this very unjust karmic contract. A lot of these karmics have deeply hurt the feminine. And I feel that open-hearted, honest communication is coming because I do feel a lot of new opportunities are coming forward for the feminine. And the higher you rise, the further you feel away from him. So this really is keeping the masculine in a deep state of fear when it comes to this new beginning. And I do feel he's losing faith. He's losing faith. But I do feel he's going to come in with a lot of communication. I think delays are ending. He wants to put in the work to build this foundation. He wants to heal that energy of you feeling left out in the cold. So he is preparing to come and face the judgment of the divine feminine to see if there's still love there. He's seeking a reconciliation, and he does want to move things forward. So I think get ready to receive a message. The masculine wants this wish fulfillment with you. He knows it's time to make the unexpected choice in love if he is to go after this new beginning. But he's going to have to face all of this past betrayal first and foremost if he is to rise as that true benevolent masculine figure. He's getting control of his emotions. He's getting control of his emotions. He knows exactly where his heart belongs. And he wants to come in for that reconciliation. Definitely drawing some boundaries in the sand. I do feel a lot of the masculines are struggling at this time, and what they really need from us is our compassion and our understanding. It's so interesting. I got a massive headache before I started channeling these energies, and a lot of the masculines have been overthinking, overanalyzing, procrastinating, and it's really not healthy. A lot of obsession towards the feminine as he's kind of being tested with all of these negative circumstances and people. So divine feminine, you need to remain in high vibration as the masculine elevates himself out of this very toxic karmic contract, because he's coming into a great awareness that he's not been keeping space with healthy people. And, you know, he's not been treated with much dignity and respect from that karmic, and he wants to seek that support from you. He's hoping that he can still restructure a new family foundation with you. He's hoping that there's still love there. He actually sees you as this pillar of strength, and you've overcome all of these obstacles on the journey. And he kind of knows it's time to speak up and be heard once and for all, because he's been depleted, he's been dissatisfied, and he's learning that emotional vulnerability truly is a strength. I think the universe is like throwing signs, things, everything in the masculine's face in order for him to recognize how unhealthy this situation is and to come forward with that gratefulness for the divine feminine, because you truly are a gift to their heart. And I think he's hoping for a positive outcome. And he's definitely becoming aware of the self-sabotaging energies that he's been playing into. So do expect a message very soon from your counterpart. He's ready to finally clear that throat chakra and to speak up and be heard. And he's working through a lot of fear. So he might need your compassion at this time, divine feminine. And that's kind of what I got for a divine masculine channel message. I hope this helped. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a twin flame reading with me, please do feel free to check out that description box below. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Thank you.